You're watching the TC MMA podcast.
But as we go up to the co-main event, we'll circle back to that here in a moment. Featherweight division co-main event, you got Brian Ortega and Diego Lopes, one of the two. I'm going to lean towards Lopez. Could be right, could be wrong. I'm a big T-City fan. I like this guy. And at least we forget he's 16-3. He's saying, though, after this he's going to lightweight. There's no future title fight in this division, he's saying. You know? And he's a guy that's ranked 3, and he's got to fight number 14, the Brazilian Diego Lopes. So it's rough, man, you know? Because this division with Topuria and what is it, Volkanovski going to rematch maybe? Max Holloway's still in there. It's just a very tough division where guys have had title chances and are not probably going to get any more anytime soon. So it's very confusing. And I understand completely where T-City's at. I understand completely. But nonetheless, it's still a big fight, and he's got to hold serve here. Let's get this fight breakdown right now. In the featherweight division, your co-main event at UFC 303. You got Brian Ortega coming in at 16-3, taking on Diego Lopes, who comes in at 24-6. This is American versus Brazilian. Now, Lopez, 3 inches taller at 5'11". He's 29. Ortega, 33, still in that prime window. Lopez has a 4-inch reach advantage. He stands right-handed. Ortega, as you know, is a switch stance fighter, always an advantage. He lands 4.1 significant strikes per minute and slightly more active than Lopez, who lands 3.2 per minute. So you're looking at about 10 to 15 difference over the course of the fight. Now, you would think Lopez would have more takedowns. His takedown average is 0.0, right? So he doesn't land many takedowns. Ortega can get one like every 3 rounds. So he's not a big takedown specialist either. Now, T-City Brian Ortega, 57% takedown defense. That won't be a problem here, right? He did have 3 takedowns against Yair Rodriguez in a dominant performance, which led to an arm triangle submission. Before that, he lost to Yair by KO and Volkanovski by decision, and beat the Korean Zombie, a.k.a. Chan Sung Jung, by unanimous decision. So 2-2 in the last 4. Now, Lopez has run off 3 in a row, and a very impressive win in his last fight against Sadiq Youssef, which led to a first-round KO. He also KO'd Pat Sabatini and submitted Gavin Tucker. Right before that, he lost to Movsar Evloev and Joe Anderson Brito. So he's fought some tough opponents. He's got some experience. But let's be real. I'm not going against T-City. I like Brian Ortega. I still think he's one of the baddest featherweights there are in the division. You know? And right now, the odds favor Lopez, believe it or not. But listen, I'm going with Brian Ortega. He's more active. He's a switch stance fighter. He's still in the prime. Okay? He can land takedowns if things get difficult on the feet. So Brian Ortega is a more well-rounded fighter here. I get that Lopez finished Sadiq Youssef, and that is a big deal, but Brian Ortega's got all the intangibles, and he is facing a rising Diego Lopes, so be ready for that. But Brian Ortega wins here to move to 17-3, in my opinion, by decision on significant strikes and maybe 2 or 3 takedowns here in the featherweight division at UFC 303. Yeah, we're going with T-City all day, but Diego Lopez does have an impressive resume. Really, the Sadiq Youssef finish was huge, and it shows that he's capable of being on this level. But, you know, Brian Ortega, T-City, pretty much dominates everybody below him. And when he gets a title fight or a big fight, anything can happen. He's only got 3 losses, so he only loses to the best fighters. So I still think T-City's got it. Lightweight division move, I don't know how that's going to play out. I wish he would stay in featherweight. There's still an avenue for him, but whatever he thinks best is good with me. It's just a lightweight division is so tough, but Max Holloway went up there and had success. So you never know. You never know.
He's gon' fight, he's gon' fight. Hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fighter call, UFC at its height. Yeah. Bringing that thunder with all his might. Saying, step up, wanna fight? Hold up, think twice. Gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon. Walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass.